Good evening, I'm Mahamtawa with the newsmaking headlines around the world. His Highness the Crown Prince patronizes the second engineering initiatives organized by Kuwaiti Engineers Society. The Council of Ministers holds its weekly session and strongly denounces terrorist attacks in Egypt and Bahrain. The second Higher Joint Committee of Kuwait and Senegal convenes in Dakar, and the two sides sign two cooperation agreements. And reports declare that Israeli army detained 350 Palestinians, mostly children, in January. In our first item, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Subah patronized today the opening of the Second Engineer Initiatives Forum, which is being organized by Kuwaiti Engineering Society. His Highness deputized the Minister of Electricity and Water, Minister of Public Works Abdulaziz Abdul Latif Al-Ibrahim to attend the opening session, which took place at 10 a.m. today at Kuwait National Library. The Council of Ministers met in a weekly session today, chaired by His Highness Sheikh Jabir Al-Mbarak Al-Hamad Al-Subah, the Prime Minister. In a statement after the meeting, the Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs, Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah Al-Mbarak Al-Subah, said the Council of Ministers extends at the outset of its meeting its deepest congratulations to the loyal people of Kuwait on the 9th anniversary of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Subah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Subah and His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Subah assuming power in the State of Kuwait. The Council of Ministers also praised the wise leadership of their Highnesses in the manner that constituted continuation of the special character of Kuwait, distinguished for the strong relationship between the ruler and the people, besides strengthening of democracy, freedom and expression of serious work to keep pace with the cultural development all over the world. The Cabinet then took note of the letter to His Highness the Emir from His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of the Arab Republic of Egypt, in which he invited His Highness to attend the forthcoming conference to support Egypt's economy, which will convene in the Egyptian resort of Sharm el-Sheikh in the next month. The Council of Ministers also welcomed the current visit to Kuwait by the Egyptian Prime Minister Ibrahim Mahlib, which comes in the framework of the existing brotherly relations between the two countries. The Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs was briefed by the Deputy Premier and Minister of Interior, Sheikh Mohammed Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Subah, about the ministry preparations in light of the recent draft law by the National Assembly, which calls for collecting arms and ammunition, and the guarantees that will be given to ensure privacy of houses and properties. The Deputy Premier and Minister of Interior also spoke about the ministry's intention to install monitoring cameras and devices for security purposes, as those measures can be deterrent factors against crimes and law violations. This system will enhance security at the commercial malls and residential areas. The Council of Ministers also discussed the political issues in view of the current development and reports of the Arab and international levels. The Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs said the Council of Ministers strongly denounced the latest terrorist attack in the Sinai Peninsula in the Republic of Egypt, as well as the terrorist act in a petrol station north of the Bahraini capital Manama, in which a number of Bahraini security men were wounded. The Council of Ministers reasserted Kuwait's stand, which condemns and rejects all kinds of terrorism, and renewed its confidence in the ability of Egypt and Bahrain to confront those terrorist and criminal acts. The Egyptian Prime Minister, Engineer Ibrahim Mahlib, visited today the Jaber Hospital project and Al Jahra Highway project, which are being executed by the Egyptian firm Arab Contractors. The implementation of the two projects represents part of the existing cooperation between the two countries. Engineer Mahlib was briefed in details about the progress of the two projects. The Egyptian Prime Minister started a 3-day official visit to the State of Kuwait yesterday at the invitation of His Highness Sheikh Jabir Al-Mbarak Al-Hamad Al-Subah, the Prime Minister. President of Senegal Republic Macky Sall received in Dakar today the First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, who delivered to him a written message from His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah dealing with the existing relations between the two countries. The meeting was attended by the Director General of Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development Abdul Wahab Al-Badr, the Director of the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister's Office Department Ambassador Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al-Mohammed Al-Sabah, Kuwait's Ambassador to Senegal Mohammed Fadl Khalaf, and the Acting Director of the Africa Department Consular Ahmed Sliman Al-Mashan, and other officials from both sides. The second meeting of the Higher Joint Committee between the State of Kuwait and the Republic of Senegal opened its meeting in the Senegalese capital, Dakar, today. Kuwait's delegation was headed by the First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, while the Senegalese delegation was headed by Foreign Minister Mankar Anjai. The two sides underlined during the meeting the importance of fostering relations between Kuwait and Senegal in different domains. They also signed an agreement of cooperation in the fields of youth and sports, as well as other agreements for cultural cooperation. The First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, discussed with his Senegalese counterpart, Mankar Anjai, the existing bilateral relations and means of boosting them in different domains. The two foreign ministers also discussed the latest developments at the regional and international arenas. Their meeting was attended by the Director General of Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development, Abdul Wahab Al-Badr, the Director of the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister's Office Department Ambassador Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al-Mohammed Al-Sabah, Kuwait's Ambassador to Senegal Mohammed Fadl Khalaf, and the Acting Director of the Africa Department Consular Ahmed Sliman Al-Mashan, and other officials from both sides. His Excellency the First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah chairs Kuwait's delegation to the second meeting of the Higher Joint Committee for Cooperation between the State of Kuwait and the Republic of Senegal, which convened earlier today. Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah visit to Senegal comes at the beginning of his official tour of Morocco, Spain, and the Federal Republic of Germany. The Albanian ambassador to Kuwait, His Excellency Mr. Kojim Morina, in a press conference today announced that the Albanian government made the decision to lift the visa system of the country's entrance for all Kuwaiti citizens and the United Arab Emirates. The decision was taken based on the positive relations between Kuwait and Albania and in the course of further boosting relations. Here is more on the issue in this report with Salim Al-Kandari.
Embassy of the Republic of Albania to Kuwait, the Albanian ambassador announced in a press conference today that Kuwaitis no longer need to have entrance visas to travel to Albania.
To lift the visa regime for the citizens of Kuwait and United Arab Emirates. This decision will enter in force in a few days. So after the publication in the official gazette that is normal for every country. So the Kuwaiti citizens, they can travel now to Albania just with the identification document of passport. And they can stay up to 90 days within a period of 6 months. So they can, it's like the visa C, huh? They can stay up to 3 months in Albania, but then should come back, and after 3 months staying in Kuwait, they can go back to Albania. Yeah, this decision comes following the official visit of the Prime Minister of the Republic of Albania to the State of Kuwait, His Excellency Mr. Edi Rama, on 18 to 20 November. So after this official visit, that was very important for the strengthening of bilateral relations between the two countries. The Albanian government took this decision to remove visa for the Kuwaiti citizens. So free movement of visa helps to promote tourism and investments in Albania and to increase exchanges between the citizens of the both countries. Just for your information, that recent surveys rank Albania among the top touristic destination in Europe to be visited. We can mention here the New York Times survey in the beginning of 2014, which ranked Albania fourth among the 52 touristic destinations in the world to be visited. Also, Albania has a very favorable business environment for the foreign investments. We can say that in recent times there is more interest to Albania from the Kuwaiti investors. And some companies have started, they made some visits to Albania and they started the cooperation so they started some business in Albania, and we expect such attention from the other Kuwaiti companies as well. Also, I can mention some priorities for investment in Albania, some fields of priorities like tourism, agriculture, renewable energy, mining industry, manufacturing, and infrastructure.
The Albanian ambassador encourages Kuwaitis to invest in all sectors in Albania, especially real estates, upcoming manufacturers, and touristic projects. From the Albanian embassy, this is Salm Kendiri reporting for the English News.
The UN Security Council demanded the immediate release of all hostages held by the so-called IS group, as Jordan vowed to do everything it can to save the life of a pilot captured by the militants. The 15-member council condemned the heinous and cowardly murder of a Japanese journalist after the crowd claimed he had been beheaded. The government of Jordan, meanwhile, vowed to do all it can to save Air Force pilot Maaz Kasasbe, who was captured by the so-called IS after his plane crashed in Syria last December. Jordan's King Abdullah II denounced the two Japanese murder and promised to exert every effort to release the pilot. The so-called IS has been demanding the release of an Iraqi militant on death row in Jordan in exchange for Kasasbe's life, and Amman said it would hand him over if given proof that he is still alive. Security in the Sinai Peninsula was questioned following the large-scale coordinated attacks in its north on the 29th of January that targeted security facilities in Rafah, Sheikh Zuwayd, and Al Arish. 2 women were killed by a rocket-propelled grenade, while another died in crossfire between militants and security forces in 2 separate incidents in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, security and medical sources said on Sunday. On another development, the Egyptian authorities have deported an Australian television journalist jailed for more than a year on politicized charges regarding the content of his work. The Australian Peter Grest is one of 3 journalists for Al Jazeera's English language affiliated, jailed on allegations of reporting false news in a conspiracy with the Brotherhood Party to destabilize the country. The other 2, along with at least 9 other journalists, remain in prison. A new report reveals that Israel detained 350 Palestinian children in the past month of January alone. 120 of them were arrested in Hebron and 60 from Jerusalem. Fatma Abdel Karim has more in this report from Ramallah.
Palestinian officials voiced serious concerns over the latest rise in arrests Israel is carrying out against Palestinians, especially targeting children. A rights group monitored the Israeli arrests of children during the month of January alone and unraveled an alarming figure. The report said Israel incarcerated 350 Palestinian children during that 1 month.
Children arrest campaigns by Israeli forces continue, individually and collectively, besides sentencing them to harsh punishments, imposing costly fines, and above all, Israel is imposing weird punishments like home arrest for those children or expulsion away from their homes.
The report said the majority of the children were arrested from Hebron, whereby 120, mainly males, were arrested, and 60 young boys were arrested from Jerusalem, while 42 minors were arrested in Ramallah and dozens from Jenin, Nablus, Qalqilia and Bethlehem. Currently, Israel is withholding the youngest prisoner in the world. She is Malak al-Khatib, only 14 years old.
Malak al-Khatib is 14 years old. She's been arrested since 3-4 weeks. She's been go for the court and they punish her for 2 months. We are going to start forward a campaign to release her immediately.
Another comprehensive report by the Department of Prisoners Affairs said that over the past 12 months, 700 Palestinian children were arrested and ill-treated inside Israeli prisons. At this time, Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails are subjected to what families and lawyers of prisoners are describing as an exceptionally aggressive attack, not only violating the rights of children, but also neglecting the needed health care for the ill prisoners. Fatma Abdel Karim, Kuwait TV, Ramallah, Palestine.
Pro-Russian separatists vowed today to mobilize up to 100,000 fighters for their latest East Ukraine offensive as the U.S. mulled sending weapons to Kiev's outgunned forces after the latest truce bid collapsed. The ambitious pledge to dramatically escalate a 9-month conflict that has already left at least 5,100 people dead came as the rebels battled to encircle beleaguered transport hub Debaltseve. Fighting in Ukraine's industrial heartland has intensified in recent days, with Kiev officials and local authorities saying today that 5 Ukrainian soldiers and 3 civilians had been killed in the last 24 hours. Fighting in East Ukraine claimed around 50 lives over the weekend as the latest attempt at truce talks collapsed in acrimony in Minsk on Saturday. The National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters organized the Grain Comprehensive Art Exhibition at Al Funun and Ahmed Al Adwani halls at the Abdallah Salem area. The exhibition is part of the 21st Grain Cultural Festival and is held annually, showcasing the works of the talented Kuwaiti youth. Hiba Abdel-Rahman has more in this report.
Around 75 paintings from various schools of plastic arts derived from the 55 Kuwaiti artists were on display at a distinguished art exhibition which was inaugurated by the National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters, or the NCCAL, within the activities of the 21st Grain Cultural Festival. The exhibition, which is held annually in this cultural phenomenon, monitors the artistic movement in Kuwait and encourages the artists to develop their skills and talents.
We are very happy to have this exhibition today. It's a part of Al-Quran Festival. This is a window for most of the artists in Kuwait to look to their people, to their lovers and those guys who like the fine arts in Kuwait. And it's also a time for, getting more presents in the National Council for Arts and Letters. They are looking for the present of Isa Sagir, which gonna be given to 10 of the artists. We hope that all of them, those participants, are winning the present, and we hope that they can deal with their people here, those people who like their works.
This exhibition, since its inception in 1994, reveals the artistic styles and trends and help in developing new artistic creations that are reflected in the production of the participants of the artists.
Well, it's not the first time for us to join this exhibition, Al Grain Festival, and it's a very good exhibition to have to mix with all the artists in Kuwait and to share our paintings and our new ideas to all the artists in here. So this is my new art painted. It's done 2015, and it talks about all the mixed ideas inside the personal and the changes that happens in the life.
I take a Rajhi Bank for women painting, and I'm also a member of Kuwait Society.
The exhibition is a great artistic celebration which the followers of the artistic movement in Kuwait await due to its important role in improving the Kuwaiti artistic movement and the development of local artistic taste. Every year, the show has been competition in the creative achievement of the fine artwork among all the artists in Kuwait within the generation of the pioneers in painting, sculpture, or ceramics. The NCCAL allocated this year the Isa Sagar Creative Award, which is a commemoration and a cash prize for the participant artists.
The National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters, represented by the Green Culture Festival, continues its main role in supporting and encouraging the talented Kuwaiti youth in many fields, especially in the artistic arena, the side that needs more care and attention to flourish and develop. From Ahmed Al Adwani Hall in Abdullah Salim area, I am Heba Abdurrahman reporting for English News.
A press conference was recently held at the Marine Hotel to announce the third edition of Kuwait Yacht Show 2015. The press conference aimed at shedding light on the latest updates of the show, the new achievements and offerings. Reporter Ghinwa Jabouri was there with the following detail.
Crowned by the unveiling of global premiere and a number of regional premieres, together with the introduction of new international and local exhibitors, the coming edition is expected to be a turning point for Kuwait Yacht Show.
Well, this is our third edition, and as you have seen, with every year we've been growing. So this is going to be our biggest yet, and this year we're having a lot of new things that really we're so proud to be announcing, because it really affects not only the Kuwait Yacht Show, but also Kuwait in general. Today, for the first time, the Kuwait Yacht Show has entered the IFBSO, which is the International Federation of Boat Show Organizers. This is an international certification that puts us on the calendar of recognized boat shows in the world.
Becoming a candidate member of the International Federation of Boat Show Organizers, this year's KYS will also be audited by BPA.
What we're trying to do is we're really trying to show our support back to the Kuwait community, because it is such a large a lot of boating enthusiasts in Kuwait, and the intention is this year to bring the largest ever super yacht to Kuwait, which we're going to be unveiling and giving a sneak preview. So we're going to let the Kuwait people see something that they've never seen before, the rest of the world sees it, so we're quite excited about it.
Moreover, for the first time, Kuwait is officially on the Global Boat Show calendar.
Kuwait Yacht Show 2015 opened its doors on February the 3rd, unveiling an unprecedented global premiere. From the Marina Hotel, I'm going to be reporting to you for the English News.
In our final item, we move to the local business news, where Kuwait Stock Exchange Indices settled on mixed boards at the end of today's trading session, with the weight index dropping to the level of 444.65 points, posting a marginal loss of 0.7 points. The price index settled at 6,653.59, gaining 16.88 points, while the KSX 15 index fell to 1,080.39, losing 3.3 points. The number of trades amounted to 5,749 transactions, worth about 24 million Kuwaiti dinars, with around 211 million shares changing hands. For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. Well, with that, we conclude our news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant time. I'm Mahab Tawa. Before we go, we remind you once again of our main top stories. Have a pleasant time and good night. His Highness the Crown Prince patronizes the second engineering initiatives organized by Kuwaiti Engineers Society. The Council of Ministers holds its weekly session and strongly denounces the terrorist attacks in Egypt and Bahrain. The second higher joint committee at Kuwait and Senegal convenes in Dakar, and the two sides sign 2 cooperation agreements. And reports declare that Israeli army detained 350 Palestinians, mostly children, in January.